Hey folks, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is on the horizon. This so far pretty mysterious game has got the Zelda community so excited, and we don't even know that much about it yet. It's a sequel to Breath of the Wild that will take us into the heavens above and an expanded world beyond that. Ganondorf is back, Link is changed, and Zelda is gone. What a tease we've had so far at what's in store, and going off these free teaser-like trailers we've seen so far, there have been some pretty damn crazy things going on. I mean, traversing the sky, Hyrule looks like it's been torn apart down below, and we're also exploring the ancient resting place of Hyrule's greatest villain, taking us underground. There are already a few crazy awesome ideas in the game, but today, I want to discuss some of my own crazy ideas for this game. They're going to be pretty insane and out there, but definitely with a smidge of possibility. But please remember, these are only ideas, not facts. I don't know if any of these would work in the actual game itself, nor are these expectations of mine. With that said, be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or drink and send them in to get featured right here. And also be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out. And let's get into this one. As this game will have a very large focus on the Sky Islands and exploring them, there are bound to be threats to Link up here. From the more measly enemies, the equivalent to Choo-Choos, to the mid-tier enemies like Bokoblins, to the equivalent of your big boys like Hinox and Stone Talus. These Skylands will have some threats lurking. An idea I have for an overworld big boy boss enemy up here is mid-air dragon battles. Oh god, did I just do that? This idea stems from the patents that were released a little while back showing us some mechanics in the game, one of which showed us some aerial combat with a bow. Now, it isn't certain how this will be used, or more so for what type of enemy, but I would love to see this happen with a mid-air dragon battle. Now you may be thinking, how would that work? Wouldn't Link just fall down? Yes, he would. However, in this battle, Link wouldn't be fighting against the serpent-style dragons we saw in Breath of the Wild, rather the kind we saw in Twilight Princess with Argorok. The flap of this beast's wings would create a vicious draft of wind around it, which Link could use to keep himself on its level, or the draft would be so strong and in a loop that Link can't escape, locking him in battle. Whatever. There would be some sort of strong draft to keep Link up, somewhat similar to how we could keep up with the dragons in Breath of the Wild, just more vicious. They'd come out of nowhere, usually hiding behind dark clouds in the less island-dense parts of the sky, sucking Link into their radius with that vicious draft. Once up here, we'd have to find a way to take one of these great beasts down. Think the Argorok battle from Twilight Princess, but without anything to land on or hookshot to. Link is isolated in the air with the dragon. You'd have to find its weak point, which would vary from dragon to dragon to make them a little bit difficult. But generally, it would be one lone broken scale, somewhere on the body, leaving a weak point to hit. Some dragons would breathe fire, some would blast ice, others would have electricity on their side, and there would even be rare dragons with a bit of everything on their side. Once the weak spot is hit with an arrow, the dragon would slow down and allow Link a short period to climb on. In this time, Link would need to make his way to its head and strike there to try and take it down. Once down, the beast would fall from the sky whilst bursting into nothingness as enemies tend to do. Link would be shot up a bit higher from the gust it would cause from falling and be able to land safely on a nearby island. Basically, this would be the new Hinox or Stone Talus found in the wild. That sort of enemy. It's kind of realistic, but I'm not too sure it'll happen. It's definitely a crazy idea though. Moving on from an enemy, how about a big dramatic return to the series? I've talked about this idea before here and there, but let's flesh the idea out. The return of Midna. There is no clear evidence to suggest this as of yet. However, there are lots of hints and themes that could fuel the idea being possible. I said these would be crazy, so here it is. The Zonai themes in Tears of the Kingdom so far have been really intriguing to see. From the designs and ruins beneath Hyrule to the symbolism in the sky. We know the Zonai and Twilight race have been heavily connected, and I'm not doing a deep dive into that theory today. The only thing you really need to know for this video is that I support that idea. I think it is a possibility. The key facts match. They're both ancient, magically powerful tribes that are now long gone. They share designs in architecture and also some colour schemes. At the end of Twilight Princess, Midna left Hyrule and shattered the Mirror of Twilight to cut ties between Hyrule and the Twilight Realm. However, playing on us Twilight Princess mega fans hearts, she said, "See you later." That is not a goodbye, that is with the implication of seeing them again. Now yeah, maybe this is just to comfort the characters losing a dear friend, but still, we're gonna play on it. Going off the strong theories of the Zonai and Twilight being one of the same, going off the Zonai presence in the Tears of the Kingdom trailers so far, going off that we have one grand mysterious character to be revealed, hopefully. Could that person be Midna? Yes. I believe anything is possible. It's just a matter of likelihood. It would also connect those very early theories of the hand belonging to Midna. I mean, the colour scheme matches. She could play some sort of role in helping to sort out whatever is going on in this adventure. It's a pretty crazy idea, but one I would love to see happen. Let's take a bash at something gameplay-wise. A co-op adventure. An idea brought up to me by Wolfman Brown from my Discord server. Link below if you want to join, by the way. The idea itself being co-op, where one player can play as Link and the other as Zelda. I don't want to fuel any speculation that may or may not be going on in the community right now regarding this, but the idea is pretty interesting. Ever since that first trailer back in 2019 where we saw Link and Zelda adventuring together, rather than Link adventuring to rescue or find Zelda, fans began to speculate and come up with ideas for how a playable Zelda could work. In this case, we're looking at co-op style. Cooperative, playing. How would this work exactly? Well, in my mind, it would be one of two situations. If we're talking about it being part of the main game, then I'd imagine it being optional segments. Parts of the story that you are alongside Princess Zelda already, but have the option to play with a friend for a certain part of the story. For example, through the caves of Hyrule's underground. And if you don't have a friend to play with, or just don't want to, then Zelda will do the work anyway, but controlled by the game. That's one way I could see it going. The other, and my preferred option to be honest, is a completely separate co-op mode on its own, outside of the main game. It's not that I don't want co-op in the main game, it's more I want to see co-op given its own stage to shine, or at least the chance to. Perhaps with a sort of side story that can be played with a friend. Again, one being Link and the other being Zelda. The whole idea of co-op 3D mainline Zelda is interesting, and definitely something that could work. It's just about how it's done and if that'll fit. I would say this is pretty crazy as it's very unlikely to happen in my opinion, but you never know. Hey there, how you doing? Welcome to this mini support checkpoint. If you're enjoying the video, remember to hit that like button as it really helps the channel, and subscribe to see more of these fabulous Zelda videos going into Tears of the Kingdom. Cheers. Little warning, this next idea is a bit dark. It involves death. The idea is Princess Zelda dying. Okay, first of all, I don't want this to happen, nor believe it should happen. Let me explain why I've included this. Well, for starters, it is a very crazy idea, fitting this list, but also because this was a talked about possibility when the first trailer dropped, and we saw Princess Zelda falling to her potential doom. Then fueled further in the second trailer when we saw her once again, falling to her potential doom. Again. Look, I don't think this will happen. She's too legendary. Anyway, let's fuel it for a brief moment. What if Zelda does die here? Is this early in the game? Is it at the end? Could it be in the middle? How does that impact the story? Well actually, what if this is fairly early in the game? It has been speculated that this little adventure here triggers Ganondorf's awakening, kicking off everything we see going on across Hyrule and above. Now we've got a hand on our side and a mysterious figure to learn about. What if, and this is a massive what if we work with this mysterious figure, who is possibly also the hand, to bring Zelda back? So you know, the game doesn't end with a dead Princess Zelda, because that wouldn't be very poggers. Did I just say poggers? First the... jeez. I spend too much time on Discord. Anyway, that's that. It's a crazy but dark idea, so let's move on. Now for the final crazy idea of the video. Bringing the Shadow of Link back, Dark Link. A very famous Zelda mini-boss who appears in a few different games, but is undeniably the most iconic in Ocarina of Time. Dark, or Shadow, Link is a carbon copy of the hero, but in pure darkness. Theoretically impossible to beat, as this is a copy of Link himself. Dark Link knows every move Link has, and is one hell of a stubborn foe to take down. Given some of the darker themes seen in the trailers to this game, I feel that a return for this iconic enemy would be insanely cool, but also crazy. A good while back, I came up with an idea of somewhere finding a broken mirror in a dark room, and Link looks into it, and triggers the appearance of his shadow, similar to how in Twilight Princess in Link's basement, if you look in the mirror you see red eyes. I imagine this, but the red eyes are behind you. Turn around, Dark Link. That doesn't have to be how it's done, but just generally getting this enemy slash mini boss back in the series would be crazy cool. It's crazy because Dark Link is crazy. Just imagine traversing one of this game's dungeons that it'll hopefully have and being face to face with Link himself, but made up of a pure shadowy matter. Maybe the Malice could be tied into this too, a sort of Shadow Malice Link battle. I don't know. Oh, and if this was to happen, the line Navi says about Dark Link and Ocarina of Time should also return in some way, perhaps on a sign or engraving before we enter wherever we face Dark Link. Simply reading, conquer yourself. Those are my crazy ideas for Tears of the Kingdom. I hope at least one turns out to be true and works well in the game. If not, that's okay. Let me know your thoughts on my ideas, and also be sure to drop your ideas down below in the comments. I'll be reading and replying very soon. Be sure to drop a wee like down below if you enjoyed, and also consider subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content. Both would make my day. Follow my socials linked below to keep up to date, and as always, a huge, massive, amazing shout out goes to all of my channel supporters, with a very special shout out to new supporter, Joy. Thanks a ton. Your support really helps me to make these videos week in, week out, all month long, 365 days a year. If you'd like to join them and get yourself a shout upon joining and your name at the end of every video, then consider supporting via the links below. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day or night, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.